when I visited Ram Dass, the spiritual teacher who is now passed away, he lived on Maui. On his car, I saw a bumper sticker which said, "I'd rather be here now." That's a good teaching on a bumper sticker. Usually happiness exists as part of the play of opposites. You experience the happiness because something makes you happy, and then that thing that made you happy either leaves you, or the very thing that made you happy suddenly makes you unhappy. Marriage, for example. This is by someone who is sleepless at night. My wife snores. My now at night is miserable. I have tried electronic gadgets and earplugs to no avail. How does one respond and not react? Signed, awake but only at night. Our enemies. I am never upset for the reason I think. Now, upset is a generic term. Could be any in any way that you're out of alignment with isness. There's a disagreement with the isness of the present moment, and then you become upset. Now, many people are upset a lot of the time, but they don't realize they are upset. And if you talk to them and say, "Why are you upset?" they say, "I'm not upset, I'm just bloody angry." Or, "I'm not upset, I'm deeply hurt because he didn't invite me to his birthday party." Deeply hurt. Not upset. So, wonderful practice, meetings, and so on are great places. I can hear a phone ringing somewhere.
I think it's behind us.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, this is the world we live in.
This is the world we live in.
Well, maybe it's my phone. No, it isn't. Time to take a selfie. And so welcome. It's good to feel that nobody's waiting for anything to happen, since everybody here is an advanced practitioner of presence. But then suddenly you realize you're nobody any beyond your job description and your function that you fulfilled for decades, perhaps an important function, member of the board. And suddenly you're not a member of the board, you're just bored. Not careful. You think that all the important things is what's on the news, CNN or others, not to mention others. I mean, they're trying to present what they think is important. I understand that, and it's their livelihood. That's fine. But if that deceives you, and you think those things are the things that really matter in going on in the world at this moment. And all you look at is the deepest manifestations of unconsciousness. That should be the name for the news. So you have the 6 o'clock deepest manifestations of unconsciousness. I was walking not long ago on my daily walk on a forest trail, and a couple were coming in the opposite direction, a young man and his girlfriend, wife. Yeah. And as they were walking past me, he stopped and said, "I know you from somewhere. Where do I know you from? What's your name?" I said, "Eckhart." "Oh, yes, YouTube. I'm watching you on YouTube all the time." And then he said to his girlfriend, "He's a famous YouTuber." So I have a new identity now. And now my ambition is I too can become an Instagram influencer. All I need is wait for a different body. Awake. Are lust and casual sex a detriment to consciousness? Are they always detrimental? Well, let's see if I can remember. No, sex, of course, is a wonderful thing. We could call it an addiction that nature has built into the human, so that they continue to survive as a species. Because if that addiction were not built in, that causes pleasure, if that were not built into the human body, who would engage in that absurd act? In Thailand, just near Bangkok, they interviewed some near Buddhist monastery. They interviewed some farmers and farm workers. They would give food to the monks. That's the tradition in Buddhism in the South Theravada tradition of Buddhism. The monks come with their begging bowls every morning. They just stand there, and then the local people come and put food. They're dependent. It's done on purpose. There's a wisdom behind it, or the Westerner would say, "Why don't they work for a living?" It's the monks stand there with their begging bowls, and then the poor people who hardly have enough themselves, they come and put some food, a bit of rice, whatever, in the begging bowls, and the monks just stand. They don't say thank you, because it's a privilege for you to give food to the monks. That's part of the tradition. So the Westerners interviewed the farm workers. Why do you give your food to the monks when you have so little yourself? And they began to talking to each other and say, "Well, because we want a better incarnation next time, so we are accumulating merit. So next time we come, we are born into a better condition." And then the Westerner asked, "So what do you want to come back as in your next lifetime?" And they talked amongst each other. And finally the agreement was, We want to come back as tourists. Oh, okay, we're getting even closer to who you are. And I'm a father, which, okay, good. And your age, okay, something that's, okay. We're almost there now, just need a few more details, and then we know who you are. And so you can put it on a piece of paper, a summary of it, or if you want a detailed account of who you are, you can write down your life history in a book, and it becomes your autobiography. Oh, that's interesting. Now we know who you are. Is not a serious business. If you make it serious, then you've gone astray somewhere and the mind is trying to do something. Awakening, a synonym for that, of course, is enlightenment, another beautiful word, which in the English language, as it so happens, implies two things. There's light in there, enlightenment. It implies light, the light of consciousness, the clarity, the awakened consciousness, the clear seeing, and it implies lightness in the sense of lack of heaviness, gravity, weight, which includes seriousness. Because the mind-made me, the egoic self, takes itself very seriously. This is by someone who is sleepless at night. My wife snores. My now at night is miserable. I have tried electronic gadgets and earplugs to no avail. How does one respond and not react? Signed, awake but only at night. For some of you, a few, it may at some point get too much, and you might feel the urge to remove yourself from here and go to a more stimulating place, such as the beach, or even more stimulating, such as the adjacent expo. The primal urge will have been stronger than the urge towards higher consciousness. Who am I? Because that also, when you ask yourself, who am I? Consciousness awakening, at first it's painful, and then it says, what am I doing here? Not another incarnation. And then as the years pass, a day will come when you look in the mirror and something has changed. That beautiful body has shrunk. or expanded, whatever the case may be. I saw the other day in Sydney, walking along the harbour front on a beautiful sunny morning, pleasant, not hot, less warm than it is here, people walking. And there was one man who had taken off his shirt, and he was walking through these crowds of people. And the strange coincidence is that this man, of course, must have been so hot in this weather that he felt compelled to take off his shirt. But by a strange coincidence, he had the most wonderful physique. Extremely masculine, just very impressive. And many people looked, and some tried not to look and just glanced. And you could see how satisfying it was for him to walk through there. So he was lucky that he felt so hot that he had to take off his shirt. When I first got my iPhone 2 years ago, then I got my first text messages, which was quite miraculous. And then often I didn't reply until the next day or 2 days later. And then I was told, this is not according to text message etiquette. Text message etiquette dictates that you reply immediately. So occasionally I do that now, but and even now I don't always reply immediately, and I don't even look at it immediately. At first I did when I got the iPhone, and then I realized what it was doing. So almost an obsessive attachment forms to that image, that form of that person. And that is called falling in love. And sometimes, if you're lucky, the other person feels the same about you, that you are going to complete him or her also. And of course that is great. You both feel that you are going to complete each other. And then probably you will want to get married, sign a contract, just to make sure that for the rest of your life you are going to complete me and you're not going to leave me. Because that would have dire consequences if you broke that contract and left me. Don't you even think about that? The Buddha was asked a similar question. I'll tell you what he said, but then I will answer it because he didn't. Does presence require us not to be too excited about something? Is presence serious? Don't laugh. My ego is really aggressive. If we say the world is crazy, are we judging? No. It actually is crazy. Best for me to walk out of the room, stop speaking. But that would throw the Omega Institute into disarray, and they would have to give you your money back. We were driving yesterday. The only way I could get here was to fly to Toronto and then drive down here. And we were in the car, maybe halfway down, and we were overtaking this car, and on the rear window the driver had written in big white letters 2 lines. The bottom line read, "God bless America," which is fine. And the top line said, "Kill them all." And we were overtaking this car with a Canadian license plate. I was hoping that them all did not include Canadians. A personal sense of self can return even during our retreat. The complaining heavy me is back. It may happen to you. It can come upon you suddenly as you sit here. And you may have to run out of the room. Now, don't let this stop you from going to the bathroom if you need to. If only you're driving along and another driver shouts something at you. "You idiot." But he doesn't say it like that. He doesn't. But when you sense then that comment and the energy behind it is like a blow, and it threatens, it shakes your form identity. And deep down, even if you know very well that this is a very unconscious person, deep down there's the little me says, maybe he's right. And immediately comes a reactive mechanism in order to repair the injury to your form identity. Because it's painful to the form to be injured. Not physically painful, but emotionally painful. And so you would shout something back, and that repairs that. Or you would simply, perhaps you're beyond shouting back, but in your mind you would be saying, "You unconscious little worm." And that also works. You accept the isness of that noise. And the mind no longer labels it. When you accept the isness, it is, and you begin to listen to it. And there's no longer a me that contracts and says no to it. You begin to listen to it without a no. Complete non-resistance, and you'll be very surprised what you feel suddenly. And even the noise might be transformed, and the pneumatic drill might be saying, "Om, Om." But it often looks as if life were giving you a challenge just to see if you can surrender. Especially you'll get it when you claim that now you have arrived. Occasionally people come to me, and I love it when they come, or they call and come and say, I am liberated now. I'm totally liberated. I know it. And it's wonderful. I love that. I don't say, oh, you're not right. They may well be right. But I often say, just wait. Let it... give it a few months before you start writing a book about it. And then you love your neighbor as yourself. Your neighbor is everyone you meet. There are no conditions to that love. I will only love you if you become more conscious. And of course, Jesus said, if you love only those who do good to you, anybody can do that. I don't think that's the exact translation, but... Many companies are still predominantly run by very big egos. I'm not saying that everybody here is entirely free of ego yet, but much less so than in many other places. So it's wonderful to be here, and if my book sales ever decline and I need a job, I hope you will. You probably won't, but because first of all, I have no computer skills, and secondly, I'm too old, since the average age here is probably about 30. So your question was important. You don't need to... Well, good to be here, and now on the screen that I have here, maybe it's a prompter, although I'm not going to read anything from it. It says the power of the present moment, a meditation, so that's what I'm supposed to do with you. Now, this is not a meditation where you need to go because sometimes the moment one says meditation, everybody goes. And people are in the grip of the stream of thinking. It pulls you along, amplified these days by the digital gadgets. We might be talking about that a little later. The grip of compulsive thinking, where one thing after another arises in your mind and you identify with everything that comes into your mind. Amplified, as I said, by the digital stuff, which called, want your attention, this is important, another email coming in, a text message. It must be important. Somebody just posted something on Facebook. And you see a photo of a dinner plate, having dinner at such a... And of course, then you have to reply and you say, cool, cool, it's great. The difference between being absorbed in the inner, being identified with the voice in your head, which is habitual compulsive thinking, and being in a state of alert awareness, which looks like this. You don't have to look like that, I'm acting it out. Jesus had the same message. The kingdom of heaven does not come with signs to be perceived. What does that mean? It means you can never say, oh, there it is. Why can't you say, oh, there it is? Because you are it. It can never become an object in your consciousness because it is consciousness itself. And people have been repeating the words of Jesus for 2,000 years. With who has understood them? Very few, maybe one or two Buddhists. So, wonderful practice, meetings, and so on are great places. I can hear a phone ringing somewhere.
I think it's behind us.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, this is the world we live in.
This is the world we live in.
Well, maybe it's my phone. No, it isn't. Time to take a selfie.
Oh, that's lovely.
And post it on Facebook.
Yeah.
This is me in, where are we? San Francisco.
What does it mean when the most present person on the planet says, "Where are we again?" It means that you're in our conversation and in our conversation.
We are here. That's
yes,
all we need to
here.
know.
That's lovely.
And then suddenly you remember, oh, I've lost the now. Where's the now? And now then the mind says, there's no point in even looking for it now, because obviously you're not in a fit state to be at peace. And with all the problems going on around you, there's just no point in even trying. Often you will hear thoughts like that your mind is telling you, not now, later. I haven't got the time to be present now. Someone who is sleepless at night. My wife snores. My now at night is miserable. I have tried electronic gadgets and earplugs to no avail. How does one respond and not react? Signed, awake but only at night. P.S. I have tried your cold soup analogy. Sweetheart, would you please stop snoring? It doesn't work. The pain body is actually scanning your surroundings or other people's remarks in a conversation or reactions, just to... And the moment somebody says something, are you accusing me of... No, I just asked if you had put the garbage out. Are you accusing me of being lazy? Are you saying to me I'm a liar? The cat is awake. Just checking if everybody is present. And then you drink. And the taste is so incredible. It's water, it's amazing, it's liquid, alive, it's liquid. No, I haven't taken acid before coming here. it dissolved. I wanted to demonstrate how a sound comes into being and then goes out of existence, slowly fades out. But we have something even better. The entire bell has faded out of existence. Perhaps there'll be even more space than there's already. Already you consist of 99% empty space. Scientists know that. The atoms, the space between the atoms that make up your body is so vast that you are more than 99% empty space. In Zen Buddhism, they have Saturi. Saturi is a sudden flash, a sudden realization. Not always lasting, but it's there, sometimes accompanied by shouting or laughter. In the depths of winter, I finally learned, finally means he spent quite a long time in the depths of winter. I finally learned that there was in me, or maybe he said there is in me, because that is the timeless. If he didn't say is, he should have said is, would have been even better. I'm always surprised when I observe humans interacting. My initials are E.T., so I call them humans. And that's always the case, then it's your choice which of the three you choose. Surrender in this case is surrender to the fact that you get woken up several times during the night and then perhaps feel sleepy during the day. But just surrender to, yes, there you are, awake again. And then you might use this opportunity and just go into the body. What else can you do? Or shake her, and then it starts again. Or you rent a tent and move into a tent. The thing that doesn't work and that which generates suffering is complaining mentally about the situation, about a situation that you can do nothing about right now. Complaining mentally or complaining also to others, anybody who is prepared to listen to you. You can complain about the situation. And if you observe closely, you see that something in you likes that. Something in you feels strengthened by the complaining, and that's the false sense of self. Whenever you complain, it strengthens the false me, because you are right. The complainer is always right.